Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another Minnesota Twins discussion video. We're going to be talking about our draft and how we drafted, who we drafted, all of that information. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's go right into it. We drafted 3 players last night in the first round. There's a lot of controversy around it. I know a lot of people that are very upset, but I know a lot of people that think these are the greatest 3 picks that we probably could have had. I'm kind of on the fence. We'll go through your stats, or go through their stats, and then I'll give you my opinion on them. But I don't know. I just kind of want to see how it turns out. And also, I'm not 100% sure how this first guy's stats are. I don't know how accurate they are. It's on Max Preps, but I know they're not always the most reliable, and it doesn't seem like these are correct. But if they are, again, I'll give you my opinion afterwards. So let's go through it and talk about our number 13th pick. First round, 13th overall, and we picked Keone Cavaco. So this was the most controversial pick, taking a shortstop, third baseman, an infielder out of high school, East Lake High School in California. Again, these are just his stats that are on Max Preps, not maybe the most accurate, but if they are, I don't think they're that great. For the first round pick, it says he only played in 17 games, which is very confusing, I think, because he's in California where they play a little bit longer since it's not winter, I guess, all the time. But he batted .429 in 17 games. He had 21 at-bats and 7 runs, 9 hits, 7 RBIs, 1 double, 1 home run. Previous years, when he played on varsity, 2017 to 2018, he played in 3 games, had 10 at-bats, 4 hits, 2 RBIs, 2 doubles, and a triple. That's a .400 batting average. That's all I can really see for his stats since he's a high schooler, and it is Max Preps, so I don't know exactly how reliable it is. But honestly, I don't know if these are the greatest numbers. I'll give you my other information that I know. So apparently they've seen him hit balls onto the rocks in Angel Stadium when he was there, probably for the state championship or some sort of camp, I guess. They said he is very similar to Javier Baez in his swing, in his approach, in his defense. Again, not sure what that really means. Obviously, Javier Baez is a great player. If he models his game after him and he does well, that's obviously great. And I hope for the best. I don't really have as much information on him being our number 1 overall pick because it's out of high school. I am not ever a fan of taking guys out of high school just because the fear of them not signing is always great. You know, it's always better than it would be if they were in college, because most of these guys, if they're getting drafted, probably have pretty good scholarships to a good college. This guy was committed to SDSU, San Diego State, and he wanted to play there, but he said he was going to go pro, so it looks like he will sign, but that's always a little scary. And obviously, you know, you do want to see him, you know, do well, get better, but is college or the pro system, right? That's always the question for these guys. So I'm never a fan of taking guys out of high school. I know Joe Mauer was out of high school. There's a ton of other guys that were really good out of high school. I just don't know if I see that in this guy with these stats, right? If these stats are wrong, and you guys maybe have the stats or something, let me know. And then I could, you know, accurately reflect my opinion on what I think of him a little bit more. But from these stats, again, not 100% sure if they're accurate. I just don't know if he was our greatest 13 overall pick. The next guy who went what was it, Bryson Stott, I believe, who went to the Phillies. I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends that are Twins fans really wanted him. Another shortstop, very similar to this guy, a little bit better from UNLV. So he's played in college. That's, I guess, the competition that goes back and forth. But regardless, he is our he was the first guy we picked. Let's say it that way. So now, this next pick, I'm actually really excited for. These next two picks, very, very good. I really like them. Let's talk about Matt Wallner, who was picked, 30... Oh, geez, I gotta remember where it's at. 39th overall pick. That's exactly what it was. That's what I thought. So he's done very well at Southern Miss. He is their home run record holder, and I think this is a good pickup. So let's talk about it. He is an outfielder. I guess I should mention that. He was a junior, so he never got to play his senior year, which again is a little bit scary when you're signing. But he did go in the first round in a consolation pick. So obviously that gives you a better chance of signing. Same with a guy in high school, if he does go first overall or first round, I should say. So he did. There is always that fear that he's not going to sign and go back for his senior year, but I mean, he had some great stats to really solidify him, I think, as one of the better players. He batted .323, an OBP of .450, a slugging of .681, which is an OPS of 1.127, which was the highest of his career. He played in 61 games. See, that's what I'm talking about. Obviously, it's a little bit different from high school to college, but a lot more games. 61. In 226 at-bats, he had 73 hits, 23 home runs. I can't do math very well, but that's 35 plus 23 is 58. Is that right? 58 home runs in 3 years. That's definitely pretty good. And obviously it is college, not the MLB, but if he could put up those kind of stats in high school, that's pretty awesome. 60 RBIs. He walked 48 times to 50 strikeouts, so he is a little strikeout prone, but he's walking about as much as he's striking out, which is great. He also had 12 doubles, no triples. He had 2 triples in his two triples in his freshman year. He was still hitting 20 home runs his freshman year. I really like this pick. An outfielder with power. We don't see that too often. More of a Carlos Beltran kind of player. Aaron Judge obviously comes to mind. Stanton. He's not built like Aaron Judge or Stanton where he's only hitting home runs. I mean, obviously, he's hitting for average. He's hitting for doubles. He's hitting 73 hits, 23 home runs. He's hitting the ball all over the place. And that's why I said Carlos Beltran first, is he's not just going to hit home runs, but he will get on base for you. He'll do his job. And he looks like he is a baseball player, right? He looks like he is capable of going onto the field, hitting some home runs, and getting the ball in play, being productive on the team. I really like this pick. I'm not, I can't sit here and analyze every single outfielder that was taken in the draft, every single shortstop, but honestly, from what I've seen from this guy and his stats, I like him. I think he's our best pick, honestly. So next up, we go to Matt Cantorino. Again, not a bad pick at all. Where did we take him again? I can't remember. The 54th overall pick, another consolation pick in the end of the first round. Not a bad pick whatsoever. I think he went to JUCO for the first 2 years and then went to Rice. Rice has always been good at baseball. His record doesn't show it, and that's why I'm more of a fan of ERA in strikeouts and opponent batting average, whip, all that kind of stuff. Granted, I know that I've mentioned it. You can walk 3 guys in an inning and get out of it. So, granted, it's not the best to formulate an opinion on, but this guy, 6-5 record his last year when he was at Rice, not the greatest, but his ERA is a 2.81. So that just tells you the kind of team he had around him was probably not the greatest, and he would give up 2 runs a game or something, and that would be it. He actually gave up 31 runs overall in 15 games, so about 2 runs per game, and that tells you again how much offense you have on your team. So he pitched 100 innings, gave up 73 hits, 35 runs, 31 of them were earned. Here's the biggest thing that I like about this guy, though. His opponent batting average is .199, under 200. He has 121 strikeouts to 23 walks. And same with last year, he had 116 strikeouts to 22 walks. And then the year before, 111 strikeouts to 49 walks. Obviously, that was his freshman year. But still, 100 strikeouts in about 100 innings pitched. Over 100 strikeouts in 100 innings pitched. That's very good. That's very efficient. I really like, if this guy is great, if he can continue to do that, that's what we need from him. And I do think that is a very, very solid 54th overall pick. Again, I can't sit here and analyze every single pitcher that was taken. Obviously, he's probably not the best, but I like those stats, and I think from what we got him for and what I've seen right now, this guy is going to be capable of at least doing something, right? So, is he going to be the greatest? I don't know. We'll have to see. So that's all I got for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe you learned something about these guys. Obviously, go check them out on your own, and hopefully you guys can make your own opinions about them, not just what I'm giving you information about. So that's all I got for you today. Let me know what you guys think about our first round draft picks, and I will come back a little later and see you for the next video. Peace out, guys.